Hello there, this video is for the attention of the 501st Legion UK Garrison Commanding Officer in regards to the comments that was left on one of my other videos by him. First of all, thank you for commenting, and I hope you get to have the time to watch this video, but I thought doing a video reply would be easier than trying to write a long comment, so I can easily talk about this and show you some stuff, expand upon the points that I made and elaborate more, as well as comment on some of the stuff you made. So, just to introduce myself properly, my name is Leah Holland, I'm 21 years old and I have been doing this hobby for about 7, nearly 8 years now. I've been an Imperial Stormtrooper. And to get straight into your first comment, I find your comments interesting and indeed intriguing. You have openly, despite denying this in your video, attacked us based on what you advise as hearsay. I do not believe anyone was attacked or belittled or anything like that at the MCM Expo event, and certainly not our UK Garrison area, where our sole purpose is to help and encourage new members. Perhaps instead of making assumptions based on hearsay, you should register and find out for yourself what and who we are, rather than listen to the haters out there who begrudge us our standing in the community. We have worked hard making costuming something that is well respected and is available to all, and for you to make the statements you have based on one person's third-party story is disappointing, to say the least. Now, I just wanted to expand upon the second point you made there, about I should register and find out for you guys what you do rather than listening to other people say. I know a lot about the 501st. They were the ones who inspired me to start doing this. I originally found out about them from an event, Star Wars Celebration Europe, when it was back in London 8 odd years ago, but I didn't actually get to go to the event. So I was looking at videos of it online and I discovered the 501st through that. And so, watching those videos and doing more research onto the group, I discovered about what you guys do. And something that I mentioned in my previous video, one bit that actually made me go like, I really want to be a part of this, was the trailer for the documentary Heart of an Empire, where Vader's visiting a little boy in hospital and he goes, "One of my dreams has finally come true, I'm colouring with Darth Vader." That point, that just broke my heart, and I knew that I wanted to be a part of this just massive, big Star Wars family, to use my passions to not just get a really cool set of armour, but to use what I love to bring positivity to other people and do charity work and kinds of things like that. Is just, I think, is absolutely fantastic. And from then I got my first armour set, which I was very, very lucky to do. And first time I met proper 501st troopers was an event called One Man Star Wars. There were a couple there at the Hall Theatre down in Crawley. They said that they were with the Garrison, but they were trooping with another group at the time, and I said to them, you know, I've got my armour, I'm too young to join. They were very friendly, and we're talking about like, oh, what's your armour, you're going to get this, and you're going to get that, and they're absolutely wonderful. And I was just like, yes, these are the kind of people that I want to be with. And I've never wanted 4 years of my life to go past so fast as I did then, just so I was old enough to join the group. When it actually got to my 14th birthday, so 14 or 15, but either one, this came in the post. My 501st Legion UK Garrison crew shirt. My dad got in contact with the Legion, told them about me, said, you know, I was a young fan, I had my armour, I was too young to join, my birthday was coming up, and they were kind enough to send me this, as well as a commemorative coin and 2 little postcards, which I've currently got up on a shelf in another room. But this is something that I think I wore pretty much every day. When I first got it, I did not take it off, and I was incredibly happy to get it. But there's something that I will get on about later, which does involve this. So, don't you go back to your first point about the MCM Expo, and you don't think anyone was belittled or attacked, anything like that at Expo. The point that I was making in the last video was that actually what happened to my friend, I was actually there when it happened. It happened to him twice in one day. The first time you could say was hearsay, because he told me about that, and I was like, oh, okay. The second time we were just walking around the convention, we went past their stall, and I've got the video file up here. I know this isn't going to be very clear on here, but it'll be easier for me to talk like this. If you want to see the video clip, I will put a link down in the description for you so you can see it clearer, but just to give you an idea of what was going on and how we interpreted it. it's so my friend goes up to the booth, and the member's talking to him, sees us, and then he's like, okay, starts talking to other people. I didn't hear what happened at that point, I just saw what happened, so I'm asking my friend, oh, what happened there? And you should hear what he says.
Right, we're not one of theirs, so, oh, never mind that, so.
Because we both went up there, all of us went up. We're up en masse, so they can't have a gas, so they didn't say anything.
So that's how it was interpreted. What he said to my friend was, oh, you're not one of us. You can see him look through the crowd, see me and my armour and my two spotters, which are two of my family members, come up to stand behind him, and then he goes, oh, never mind, and then backs off. It could be maybe we interpreted that wrong, but to us that is quite clearly he was trying to say to my friend, hold on a second, you're not one of us, because he just sees a stormtrooper on his own, maybe remembered him from the first time that happened, and is going to have a go at him, and then sees 3 more people come up, one of them's another stormtrooper, and then goes, oh, okay, never mind, just forget what I just said. That comes across as quite negative, and can be seen as quite elitist if you're pointing out someone who's simply walking past your stall, calling them over, stating that they're not one of you, and then just immediately backing off when you see they've got backup. So that was the incident that I was referring to, that one there. And so that's the kind of the bit that sort of was cemented me into thinking this isn't the place I really want to be, because other instances like this have happened to me, and there was one that happened to someone else on the same day who left a comment in the video you also commented on. His name is Brian, and he is a Boba Fett cosplayer, and he says, I was funny you mentioned the attitude of the UK Garrison. I was Boba Fett at the MCM on Friday and Saturday. Completely scratch-built costume, pretty good, but not CRL passable. I approached a couple of troopers on the Friday and they were pretty grumpy and dismissive. I don't know whether they were in character or not. They were making a guy do press-ups, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say they were. But as a nervous guy at my first con wanting to make new cosplay friends, it was a bit disheartening. On Saturday, I met a similar group for non-approved Star Wars cosplayers who restored my faith in the cosplay community, and I went to the 501st store with a couple of other non-approved vets. A crowd of about 15 photographers materialised out of nowhere, lining up opposite us to snap photos as if we were on the red carpet. One of the stormtroopers glared at us as if we didn't belong, but we enjoyed our time in the limelight regardless. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how accurate the suit is, the general public usually can't tell anyway. What matters is the attitude of the person in it. So this person, again, like their first convention, their first costume, trying to go up to people that they admire. I don't know if they had such affection as I did towards the 501st at that stage in the day, but oh, excuse me, I might sneeze. Yeah, it's okay, sorry about that. So yeah, just saying that he felt their attitudes towards him was just quite rude. And again, it could be that they're in character, because I know the 501st stay in character a lot. They're not ones to break out of character like I am myself. But it should be noted that it does come across when people are trying to interact with you, especially other Star Wars cosplayers whose armour may not be that good, or they just made something at home and they're quite nervous and they know that essentially you're the big guys in the costuming community. It feels like they are being a bit belittled, and I think that's something that should be noted with the attitudes of the garrison. And I would like to move on to some of the things that have actually happened to me personally. So, in your second part of the comment, you say, why not join our forum and find out if you or anyone else for that matter is of a mind to get your armour to our standards cleared with us and start trooping with us. Then you may understand a little more about what we do. Your armour looks pretty good. I doubt you'll need to adjust much for our standard clearances, so we will help you achieve that as we would any new member. Last year we raised over 60,000 for charity, amazing, and attending many fundraising events to help others raise money, as well as appearing at hospitals and helping with many wishes for Make-A-Wish. Learn about us first hand rather than second hand, and you'll never know, you may even start enjoy trooping with us. Elitist we are not. We are always trying to help and encourage new members to join and be part of the UK Garrison. So here is an open invite for you to do just that. Happy belated birthday, by the way. Thank you for that last part. And So yeah, I think that's the bit that you should be known for. That's the bit that I knew you for personally when I was younger, was the amazing charity work you do. The fact that you raise all this money and you go visit kids, you do Make-A-Wish, Toys for Tots, things like that. And I had experienced for the first time meeting the troopers that they were very accommodating and wanted to see me be involved in this big part of the family, which is why I was so excited to eventually one day turn 18 to be a part of it. So that is the stuff that you guys should have a rep for, but unfortunately, in my opinion, and I know in a few other people's opinions as well, it's, you say elitist, we are not. Unfortunately, people's opinions do go more towards that than looking at the good, which is what you guys should be known for, because it's amazing work, it's bloody fantastic. And I know there's a lot of other costume groups that some of my friends are part of that also do a lot of charity work as well. That should be the thing we're known for, all of us, big groups and little groups, for being like geeks that do good things. But so yeah, I will tell you about first-hand appearances that have happened to me. First starting with my first event, which was another MCM Expo. This was back in 2009. It was a great day, I loved it, saw the 501st. I met up with a smaller costume group that day who I didn't know about until I bumped into them, then they let me troop with them for the whole day. It was great, wonderful time, and the incident happened as I was leaving at that point of the day. As I said, I wore my 501st shirt pretty much every day, and to my first convention and the first major outing in my Stormtrooper armour, of course I'm gonna wear it. So when I got changed, put the armour back in the bag, I had my shirt back on over my undersuit. I was walking outside and saw some 501st Legion members outside, and I went and got a picture of the scout trooper, and I was approached by a female crew member who was very accusatory in tone and came over to me and said, "Who are you? Why are you wearing that? You shouldn't be wearing that," in reference to my shirt. And this 14-year-old kid with a little bag of armour just going, "Oh," and having to explain, this is my shirt, my dad got it for me. He said, "Well, is your dad a member?" "No, my dad's not a member. I'm 14. I've got my armour, it's in the bag, I'm not old enough to join you guys, but the Legion sent me this as a present." And then she's like, "Oh," gave me a business card and went, "We might be doing a Junior Legion at some point," and then walked off. That was really horrible to a 14-year-old kid who had nothing but affection. I felt quite disheartened at the end of the day, especially having a great day and having interacted with members before, to be approached by a crew member in this manner, who was being very accusatory in the fact that I wasn't a member but I had a shirt. So that was the first main event that kind of brought me down a little bit in terms of admiration, and some little things have been happening since. And not a lot of big things, but you know, sometimes in different costumes I've tried to interact with them and I've just been met with general displeasure from costumers as well as some of the crew members. Just things like, you know, trying to interact with them, sometimes they'll completely ignore you. They've been quite rude to family members, because we have a little joke, we have our own crew shirts even though it's just me and my family, because they're my spotters, because as you know, being in costumes it can be hard to see, hard to manoeuvre, so I need people to actually be able to look after me, help me in and out, and make sure that I'm not accidentally hitting anybody with certain parts of the costume. So we have our crew shirts, and we were walking past a couple of crew members to go to a different stall, and we got some very nasty looks from them because they saw the shirts and was like, okay, that's a little bit uncalled for. And an event that happened at another MCM Expo was towards my mum, who does my filming for me and is my main spotter. A crew member, not someone in costume, a crew member, she was filming outside at this point, filming a bunch of other cosplayers, and the 501st came round in like a little parade with a bunch of other people, so when they were coming past she went to film them. Fortunately I do not have the raw video files of this. I've looked, so this is just going to be my word on this. but a crew member went up to her, put his hand in front of the camera and was quite in her face and said, "You can't film this at this point in time." It's like, "You can't film this now." And that came over to her as something that was quite aggressive. Being you're in a public space, at a public event, everybody's filming, you've paid your money to get into this place, and to have someone come right up into your face and tell you you can't be doing something and sort of get very close to you. You could argue if it was a stormtrooper doing that, then they were in character, but it was a crew member. And so now following that, we try not to interact with people because we don't know what the reaction is going to be like towards us. Because apart from the very first time meeting them, most other interactions have been quite negative, either being ignored or other people who I'm with just get quite nasty receptions from people. I'm not saying this goes for the whole of the group, as I said in the previous one. These are a select few members, and I think we've probably just been unlucky in terms of meeting people like that, because I know the 501st do some amazing stuff, like you said, all this charity work. I know you help people make their costumes. There's a few people commented on some of my videos saying I'm going to be a part of this garrison, and they've been an amazing help, which is absolutely fantastic. I know members, as I've said, in different garrisons in different countries. I've even dated one of them at one point. They are fantastic, and they say that there is a lot of great people in the Legion, but have also backed me up saying, yes, we've also got some people who are also quite elitist as well. So I think this is something that definitely does need to be addressed. So if anybody else who's watching this has any comments they'd wish to add to this, could you please leave it down below. It doesn't have to be negative, please do positive. I'm not trying to make this into a negative thing. I just think these are points that need to be addressed, because it's not just me that feels that way. If it's happened to my friends, it's happened to my family, I know it's happened to other people in the costume community, and it's mainly revolving around the UK Garrison. So a lot of things, again, like you said, may be hearsay, but if you want to talk about hearsay, there was one thing that I heard about. Some of my friends were going to be involved in the New Year's Day parade in London, but were kicked out, and from what I heard, might not necessarily be true, I did not know the facts on this, but they were kicked out because the UK Garrison wanted to be the main costume group there, so they couldn't participate. That was hearsay, but that's something I heard. But having previous experiences with the Garrison being quite negative, it's something that I thought, okay, that is quite a possibility, which really, really saddened me. As I said, I was a huge fan. I wanted so badly to be a part of this group. And so, to move on to your last comment, in reply to somebody else, she is actually stating that the 501st UK Garrison are acting in an unacceptable way, and that is a misrepresentation. I've offered her the chance to find out firsthand what we are like, so that she can base her reports on first-hand rather than second or even third-hand information. Thus far, to my knowledge, she has not taken advantage of my invitation. We take what we do seriously and try to be the best at what we do. However, we never presume to think we are better than anyone else because of that. We are often accused of being elitist, but nothing could be further from the truth. We encourage and help anyone that wants to join us and become part of the world's largest costuming group. Protecting your own insecurities and fears because you don't know or don't understand something is not a positive way forward, and almost invariably causes problems that need not exist. As I have previously suggested, come and talk to us at any of the events we attend, particularly when we have a table set up, or better yet, join our forum and take part in what we do. So, I have not said that the 501st are acting in a completely unacceptable way. I'm suggesting that there are members that have negative attitudes towards other people, and I feel, as the commanding officer, if you'd like, please take my comments on board. And if you are perhaps at one convention and you're at the store, I really would not mind having a conversation with you. But I'm telling you my personal experiences, the experience that my friend had that I was there with, just elaborating on the points that I've previously made, and saying that this is something that I feel is a real shame, because you are guys who do good, and I was a massive fan, and unfortunately I will not be taking you up on your offer to come join the Garrison. I do not wish to be a part of this group, which is why I've set up my own group, the Imperial Outlanders, all inclusive. Even people who don't have costumes and just want help with it can come and join. It's all about just people being friendly to one another. I'm only there just to police the Facebook page at the moment, make sure no one's abusing it. But anyone at any level, any Star Wars costume is allowed to join. It's mainly for troopers like myself who don't have other big groups to go with, who don't have fully approved armour sets. And that's what it's for. I want something to be a part of the community that doesn't have negative connotations. I want there to be a little base for cosplayers like myself, and it's mainly Star Wars because of the experiences that I've had with you guys. And as the commanding officer, I feel maybe rather than going up to defend it and saying that I don't know and I'm protecting my own insecurities and fears, I know what's happened to me. I wanted to be a part of this group, and I feel that I cannot approach you guys anymore, and I just want this to be just a big lovely just thing. Cosplay, the clue's in the name, costume play. We just are here to have fun, and I hope you don't see this as me trying to attack you. I'm trying to raise valid points that not everybody is acting in a way that I think benefits the group as a whole, because you are bad guys who do good. And I may be repeating myself now, but I just really want to get that point across. So thank you very, very much for watching, and to anybody else who's watching this, like I said, please leave your comments down below, or if you want to be involved in anything like the Imperial Outlanders, there's links and everything down below. So hope you have a good day, and hope to hear from you soon. See you later.